Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Muhammad AZHAD bin BASRA and I will explain the introduction. This case is regarding an abandoned prima housing project that happened in Port Dickson, Negeri Sembilan. For the context, Prima is an affordable housing schemes that are introduced by the government to tackle housing problems that happen in the country, especially in the urban area. Many of the buyers of this house are usually come from low income family and some from middle income level. In this case, the Port Dickson Negeri Sembilan Prima housing, there were 659 buyers come from low income and middle income level. To to make the matter worse, some of the buyers already paid the deposit and find it struggle to continue pay the deposit because some of them also need to pay the current rent of the house. This caused an uproar and complaint among the buyers and forced them to file a complaint to the Ministry of Housing and Local Government Zuraida Kamarudin. In January 2021, Zuraida Kamarudin promised to find extra 300 workers to continue the construction in January. The buyers also continue their problem to the Angkatan Muda Keadilan Youth Chief Akmal Nasrullah to further improve the situation. Akmal Nasrullah demand the minister to give a proper explanation and upheld the sale and purchase agreement of the house that has been previously promised.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad ISKANDAR bin HAMZAH. I will present the problem of Prima project from being delayed. Firstly, this project delayed because of the corruption practice among the politician. This intervention of politician in the construction of project leads to the major issue faced by the country, which is fighting against the corruption. Based on the report National Anti-Corruption Plan, most of the politicians are interfering in the administrative matter where personal gain can be achieved, and even they are against the law and regulation. This intervention can be happen in the process of making decision involving the procurement, job appointment and a legal system. Therefore, there are certain cases where the tender of the project is not made openly and direct tender, which projects are given only to the cronies and unqualified individuals. Politician interference in the awarding of the tender to unqualified and incompetent contractor resulted in the project not being completed on the due date and eventually abandoned. Thus, it will affect the government effort to improve the quality of service to the community. Corruption will become a culture and trigger dissatisfaction and loss of public trust in the government. Next, problem of Prima project being delayed because of a rising price of building material. Price of building material is the main factor that influence the progress of the construction. This is because higher price in building material will pressure the contractor to continue any construction project. Developer cannot afford to bear huge loss due to the increases, so they had to stop buying until the situation return to normal and price are no longer a burden. This will lead to many abandoned project and sick project because the tender offer price is no longer relevant to the current construction price. It was reported that a price of other basic construction materials such as sand is alleged to have increased from 60 ringgit to 80 ringgit per yard, pipe from 30 ringgit to 60 ringgit, a bag of cement from 40 to 80 ringgit. Impact of rising price of building material will have a serious effect, which is a high risk of project delay or failure have to be borne by the contractor. Not only that, the quality of the project will be affected due to the fact contractor will use low quality product in order to ensure the cost of the project does not exceed the tender cost. at the end of the day, the consumer will receive houses that is not comply with the standard of the standard, and there will be high amount of damage cases will be reported in the future.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Haykal bin Yusni, and for the problem statement of the case study, weakness in management is one of the reasons contributing to the housing project's delay. It is seen that the upper management is very weak to execute this housing project, which later causes a bigger problem. The Minister of Housing and Local Government, Datuk Zuraida Kamaruddin, claimed that she will appoint a contractor with 300 workers to continue the abandoned work, but no progress was seen later. And she should have disclosed the specific information to the buyers regarding on when the delayed project will be continued. And worst case scenario is that the buyers who have waited for the house to be completed since 2016 have to pay the monthly allowance to the bank as if they have lived in the houses. Moreover, when the contractors fail to complete the housing project within the time intended, which will delay the project, it will cost the government, specifically the Minister of Housing and Local Government, to interfere and solve the problems. In this project, the Minister of Housing and Local Government had allocated more money to complete the abandoned project. This shows that when the contractors fail to complete their duty, more costs will be incurred, and the government is the one who will bear the burden. Another issue contributing to the housing project taking longer than predicted is because the COVID-19 pandemic. This is because when the pandemic struck Malaysia, the government will be forced to act and pass regulations to regulate the movement of nation, or we call as movement control order. As a result of this process, the project will be paused until the further notice is released by the government. Thousands of business were harmed by this catastrophe, and this business represent the backbone of the industry. As a result of this event, the delayed housing project in Port Dickson has taken longer and used more resources than anticipated. Furthermore, Datuk Zuraida Kamaruddin, Minister of Housing and Local Government, stated that the housing project was delayed due to the pandemic that affected our country, and that more time is needed to construct a new timeline for the contractors to build the house in Kuala Lukut. Thus, the pandemic has halted the housing project's progress and is producing a workforce shortage in the project's completion. As a result, if there are too many activities and obligations to accomplish within a specific time frame, but insufficient stuff to do, the project will be delayed and will be not complete on time. Thus, it can be seen how critical impact of COVID-19 towards the sector, especially towards the incomplete construction project. Thank you.
Next, I will proceed with the solution. The first solution is Ministry of Housing and Local Government and Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission must play an important role to solve the issue. Ministry of Housing and Local Government can amend a better and concrete law to overcome this issue. It is because Prima project is under this ministry, but there is no action taken by them. With a new law, it makes developer must follow the agreement, and they will not be free from punishment if they are failed to finish the project. As an example, impose penalty if they are failed to do so, and also they need to pay compensation to the buyer. For MACC, they must interfere and investigate the issue happen. There must be an obstacle that delay or make the project become abandoned. In this matter, it might have some politician that involved try to gain something that can give benefit to them that makes this project become more crucial. As an example, members of Parliament Kota Melaka, Hu Pui Tiong, asked MACC to investigate Datuk Raja Kamarul Bahrain Shah Raja Ahmad due to his statement in Parliament that mentioned about 8 million ringgit Malaysia has been started from 2013, but only 1.6% of Prima houses built. Therefore, involvement of MACC is to ensure that the government allocation is fully utilised to achieve government objective and there is no scandal that hinder the project. With transparency, the issue abandoned house can be overcome. The second solution is rehabilitation towards abandoned Prima house. It is an effective way for ministry as well as the government to prevent loss and to encourage people to buy house. Ministry of Housing should restart the abandoned house to avoid waste in terms of government allocation, land and also people trust. Datuk Dr. Sri Shahidan Kasim stated that there is no need to cancel the project because the project have a potential in terms of demand from people and can be sold quickly. There must be a proper tender and transparency to handle the project become more successful, such as determine a strategic location and also make people easy to access and safe for them. Decision to continue is because government heard people's voice that face lots of challenges to get the house. Government must start from choosing the potential developer and revise the location to ensure that it is strategic and safe for people to buy and stay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad ALIUDDIN. So for the third solution is establish a community consists of a buyer of Prima houses. This community need to be set up immediately because they are to provide a full complaint to the Ministry of Housing and local government about their problem. This committee also need to be exist because they have to protect and defend the faith and the right of the buyer of the Prima housing in the Port Dickson. With the community exists, they have strong and organized forces to represent their demand and complaint regarding to the abandoned Prima house in Port Dickson. The community also need to establish immediately because they can pressure both the developer of Prima houses and the Ministry of Housing and local government. For the fourth solution is liquidated ascertained damage LAD claim. LAD claim is a contractual determined or predetermined amount of damage that either party may claim in the case of breach of the contract. LAD claims are based on the clause in the sale and purchase agreement SPA. In May 2020, Prima Corporation Mission allocated RM28 million for the financing the liquidated ascertained damage LAD for house project that are pending or delay under their corporation. This means that the buyer of Prima houses in the Port Dickson has their right to claim the liquidated ascertained damage LAD as the developer failed to complete the construction due 3 years ago.
Okay, so for recommendation, the first one is frequent monitoring by the ministry. This is because the ministry are responsible if there are any problems or difficulties arise during the execution of the project, and any problems that were identified can be eliminated sooner. Failure to identify such problems in early stage will cause the project to be delayed. Ministry could also appoint a committee to regularly disclose any information to the buyers. And so, for any delay of the project happen, the buyers will be notified and know that the causes of the delay.
For the next recommendation is using Building Information Model BIM system. This system is a highly collaborative process that enables contractor, manufacturer and other construction personnel to plan, design and build a layout or building within a single 3D model. This system will help to minimize any delay that may happen during construction of the houses. BIM system also has the full ability and capacity to find and address any technical difficulty in the housing project. This system also help to reduce any construction costs and rework costs due to the defect during the delay. Not only a BIM system can reduce the cost, it also helps to avoid any interruption in the flow of information, improve the productivity during construction, and avoiding design error for the housing project.
Next, there are several recommendations on this matter regarding of the Prima project being delayed. As we know, rising price of the construction material is the major contributor for the abandoned project. So, contractor need to practice good construction waste control. Solid waste management strategy have highlighted as a waste reduction, recycling and reuse as critical to achieve sustainability. Based on the report, construction sector create around 26,400 ton of construction waste in 2007. Therefore, developer need to monitor all the construction material waste, organizing and schedule the work, and carry and deliver construction material waste that has been collected and placed at the particular site. So, by practicing good construction material waste control, the contractor can save a lot of money in the construction. Based on the study, implementing construction waste control, the contractor has managed to save 1.6% of the construction cost. This is a good because they not only can reduce the cost of the project, and also it can prevent from any run out of the building material, which can delay the project of the in the future.
Next, selection of potential contractors. This will help government to resolve the issue of abandoned or delay housing project. Government must be fair, such as publicize to all the developers company for them to apply. The completeness document show their professionality, and also government can evaluate based on the documents. Besides, government must take into look at the contractor's experience. This allow government to make a comparison with other company based on handling project in terms of team performance and also their quality. Other than that, government must not be biased in selection method by choosing a developer among the politician company. It might take a longer time for government make a decision, but it will help to achieve the government objective easily if the contractor chosen have a potential to do so.
Other recommendation is more houses are built based on the build then sell system implementation. Build then sell system are a system which the housing developers must complete their housing project before selling the individual's house to the buyers. The system first introduced in Malaysia in 2007 to run in parallel with the old system that is sell then build systems that been done for many years. As the system, there are many advantages can be seen from this system. The most clear advantages is the buyers can see the finished product and make a better decision on so on, because the housing are already finished, and then only then the developers can sell the house. The second advantage is the buyers can decide whether the price of the house are fair to the product itself, because the buyers will buy the house that have been advertised and have been finished by the housing developers, so they can make a better financial decision and decide whether it is good or not. For developers also, they have a good advantages. one of the advantages is the developers have better chances to revive their plan and consult with the engineer of the project if a necessary adjustment is needed during the developing project. It also can give the developers other advantages, like the developers can have a legal reason for the extension of the time period of the housing project they made, because during these times they can make a legal consultation with the lawyers and can give a better explanation from their lawyers. The biggest disadvantages of this system is that they are pretty slow compared than sell then build system, because one of the main target of build then sell system is to reduce the cost of the individual unit, so the necessary sacrifice is needed. As the conclusion, the Prima housing project in Port Dickson is one of the few abandoned housing projects that can be found in Malaysia. The problem of this project can be traced and lies in many parts of areas like weakness in management and corruption practice. It also need to remind that some people take it as a political factors also. So to help improve the situation, and establishment of committee and continual monitoring by the relevant agency is necessary to make sure that the project is spot on the deadline. In the end, the efficiency of the project is in the hand of the developers and it should be accountable of it, since the project money have been paid by the buyers based on the sell then build system in this project. Thank you.